Twin flame energy, twin flame energy, twin flame energy.
Well, welcome to Twin Flame Energy Podcast. I am Dominique.
And I am AJ. This is like therapy. LOL. But we are excited to do this. It's definitely going to be a growing road for us. We usually are very private people, but at this point, we've stopped fighting the urge to just put ourselves out there.
The point of this experiment is to reflect, okay? Review, share, elevate, and understand that no matter where you are, someone can still get something out of your story, I guess. Even if all we do is make you laugh.
So what we do is record our candid conversations about everything, from our relationships to how the outside world affect us. No scripts, very organic, and hearing it back has already been super helpful to us.
Mm-hmm. A side note, we have 2 dogs. One that's a little bit anxious, so it can be a little noisy if you hear jungle sounds or bird sounds.
Yep, she's Tweety Bird.
That's her, okay? So just act like it never happened.
This first episode is looking back and reflecting on 8 years of marriage up to this point.
Yeah, pretty much. So that is enough setup. Here is the first episode, the Year 1 Reset, Part 1. This is probably the best time to do a podcast because I'm in a funky mood. So all of that veneer shine.
What veneer shine?
Hey y'all, we just so happy and we married and shit.
Well, we are back at the Twin Flame Energy podcast. We're going to talk about love.
Anyway.
No, we're going to talk about real stuff. That's what we're going to talk about.
Question number 1. Who were you then?
Then, as in...
When we first got married. Not when I
Oh,
met you. When we first got married.
oh, wow. So not going back to the beginning.
No, when we first got married.
When we first got married, it was the realization for me. I'm going to just tap a little bit into before we got married and then go to when we got married.
Okay.
Because you have to know that I didn't know who I was before we got married at all. And I just knew I had a gift in music and I played instruments. I played this and I did this for this person and did that. And, you know, I build computers for this person and I do this and I do that. And it's like, that's all I was. I wasn't a person. I was just a robot who did stuff for everybody else when they wanted it done. Never got any, oh, that was good. No, never got that. It was just all about the service. And I lived my life like that. I didn't know who I was. When I met you, I started that, like, what is this feeling? I've had relationships, I've had this in the past. And I always ask the question in every relationship I've ever been in, why do you even like me? Like, why are you with me? Like, what is it? Never could get an answer. But I never asked myself, why am I with this person? Because they asked to go with you? So you just gonna go with them because they asked you to?
Well, exactly where were y'all going?
Exactly.
Why did they come?
What was that? You know what I mean? Where was that? So for me, I've always been a service no matter what. But for you, it's totally different. So meeting you started a whole nother path because I felt something I've never felt before. So then at that point, I'm like, I don't need to ask that question. I feel something else, something different. I still didn't know who I was, but I still felt something. You know what I mean? So it's like that. It's like that iRobot. I do feel. You know, remember it was like that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And it was like, okay. And people even looked at me like, yeah, AJ would never have nobody. Yeah, he's He just the music man forever. So then when we got married, you know, I was very very like conflicted between the two people. I was like almost in a confusion because I'm like, I'm in love, but I can't be that active service like I used to because she needs me, you know? So I'm like battling the two. I'm going back and forth. I'm fighting the two. It led up to a lot of like of our arguments too, because it's like there's things I still didn't understand. I was like so confused that, well, why can't I do this or why can't I do that? It's not a big deal.
And you had Eli now, so it wasn't just me.
You know what I'm saying?
I got a son, I got a wife, and I can't just be just there for anyone because I have to be there for them first. You know what I mean? And I never just thought about being there for myself. I just did what I did and things happened. I always had money. People didn't tell me, you know, people didn't know, people didn't have to, because nobody was in my stuff. Everybody thought I was a mystery. Everybody, because, you know, that's all I was. People thought that I had something else to hide or something else under me, but it was just, that's all I was. That's all I ever knew was that. So literally coming into marriage, it was like, whoa. You know, it was an awakening of like something very, very serious. And I have to start weeding out this service and start creating security instead of it being just a service. I have to create security, stability, all that kind of stuff.
And so that's when you started charging for the music.
No, I was charging.
Everybody out there, when you get your bill, it's me. It's not him, it's me. Promise you that.
Yeah,
He breathes,
that is true.
such and such wants this for free. No.
That is true.
My wife said no. That's how that goes.
That is
and
very
I tell
true.
him every time,
That is
please
very true.
send them my number.
That
I
is
have
very
no
true.
problem talking to you.
Really, you
I have no problem.
Okay, good.
All right. So, your turn.
So, who was Dominique when I would say before we got married and when we got married?
When we got married, I was 25. And I think I just was looking for something to solidify how old I was at that moment. Like, I felt like I didn't have any accomplishments, if you catch my drift. Like, I had graduated from MA school and I was working in the medical assisting field, but it was like me and you and Eli, we were living in this house, you know, this apartment together, and I felt like we were something, but we couldn't define it. I was always looking to be defined because I was always interested in what other people thought at that time in my life. So for me, I was more like, okay, we need. For me, I was like, why aren't we married? We had friends around us that were married. We were hanging out with other couples that were married, and we weren't married. They were a little older than us, but you know, we were just like, you know, I was just like, okay, we need to define this. Like, both our names are on this checking account. Like, it's
Wait,
like
we did.
Chase.
Because you know you remember
Because I had
because I don't remember.
I had a Chase account, and then we added you onto it.
Wait, you sure I didn't have my Chase?
Don't get things twisted. You're always the etid, not the eder. So, moving right along. Anyways. So yeah, I think I was just looking for a way to define it. Because I had started working in the medical field, so I felt like I had a real job, I had a real child, I was in a relationship that I wanted to solidify as real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I was sitting there not knowing who I was, trying to figure something out, and I feel like this love for this lady, this sweet old lady, and then I'm sitting here like not paying attention that you were looking for
Stability.
Well, you were looking for like that stamp of approval, like this is what it is.
And I felt like you had something to prove.
Yeah, it's like having a check, but this check is still just a check until I go cash that boy.
Yeah.
And see that money.
It is like that.
That was a good analogy.
Moving right along. So, next question before you toot your horn. The next question is, who are you now?
Who am I now? Honestly, who am I now? I'm still on the journey. Way further than where I were, but I'm still on that journey. I'm still on that path. Because it's kind of a never-ending path, because you still learn more as you go, as you get older, as you gain more knowledge, as you just, so I'm still on that journey. I'm still on that path, huh?
And elevate?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still on that path, but like where I am now in terms of who I am is literally about just my family, taking care of myself, taking care of my wife, taking care of things that we have, and our unit, our foundation. Like this is the Kemps. This is the Kemp life. You know what I mean? This is what this is. That is where I am right now. And I know that I'm probably pushing a little bit of my old self when I say it's about you guys more than myself. But that's part of me, That's part of me. That's part of just who I am. It's just really, I'm not breathing right unless y'all breathing right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you're not breathing, you're dead. And so then what else from there?
For some reason, I just feel like I can handle it.
That's part of the reason why they tell you to put the mask
The
on
mask
yourself
on before,
and then
I
help
know, I
everyone
know.
else.
And like I said, I'm still on the journey. I want to be able to take care of myself without feeling like I'm leaving you guys behind. That's an issue.
And the thing
I'm
about it
getting
is
there.
we don't give you that feeling, because even there are some times when you're like, I have a bunch of artists that I need to do work for, and I'm like, dude, like, why do you feel like if we're in the house you can't move? Like, sometimes me and the kids enjoy when you go over there and we do our own thing, because we are a lot more free-flowing than you are. To me, the best evenings is when, we're all in here just chilling. The TV is on. We might be watching some, sciencey stuff online. Whatever. And we're just kind of just chillaxing. We're not talking about structure. Structure, I don't know. I think I'm allergic to structure in some instances. Like some evenings, I actually have more stress because I'm like, when the kids get home, it's like, do this chore, do this chore, do. And even though I know they need it because they are just like, blah, all over the place and they won't do anything unless you do that, some days I just feel like it kind of dampens the spontaneity and the joy of the day.
Look, we're talking about a 6 and 12-year-old, okay?
Listen.
Need we say any more? We all should have that. I acknowledge that. Mm-hmm. Because I can't stand people more when they be like, I'm too old for that. I don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? And some people just don't really understand that. Sometimes you need to find that kid again, because that kid again is a nostalgic feeling that creates this happiness for you. And then you stay watching something, having your alone time. You're a Sagittarius. Having your alone time, that's what you want. You need that. You know what I mean? And me, I honestly do enjoy it too. As a Scorpio and as a number 8, literally, I'm so focused when I get into my area. I'm doing my music. I'm mixing something. You won't see me. You have to kind of tap me like, hey, where you at? I literally feel like a kid in a candy store. I feel like my meditation is going in. I feel like my frequency is raising. I feel like I'm focused on something. I'm handling business. I'm so analytical that I'm just like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I feel great in that zone. So I understand that. I do understand it. But at the same time, that's the thing that kind of kind of gets me is that, you know, I don't want something to hinder or affect you guys because I'm doing something like elsewhere or something with other people or you know what I'm saying? Like the family time and just our time is really, really valuable, you know? So when someone comes, it's like, yeah, we need people to come. I need my business to run, and I absolutely love what I do, and people love the product. So the happiness is great and flowing, but I still feel that I battle that though. Like I'm like, but I'm taking away some time too from my family, and I just feel like I'm messing something up, you know.
Now.
I mean, you do braid your own hair, so.
Now.
You're really good at it.
Thank you.
You are.
Now.
You're very beautiful.
I am interested in.
So pretty.
Self.
Mm-hmm.
When I say that, people don't get anything. So when you're talking about self and you're talking about self-elevation, because the thing about it is I've spent a lot of time not caring for self. So when you get to the point where you're like, okay, you need to care for self, and you're like, okay, I want to learn how to do, like I've always been the type of person that can learn how to do anything, but I spent 10 years not learning how to do anything at all. So now I'm like, anything that I want, I learn how to do it for myself. You know, because the thing about it is, people spend a lot of money out here just doing all kinds of stuff. And my thing is, I don't have to be deprived just because I want to watch where my dollar is going. But I can still have the same things, I just can do them myself. And when it comes to a situation where we don't know where this world is going, we don't know what's going to happen, you know, I'm not going to be one of those chicks that's going to be upset because there ain't no power and her weave been smelling because it's been in for 6 weeks and her hairdresser is in a bunker across town. See, that's how I think. You know what I'm saying? Like,
a bunker?
Anything in the world could ever happen.
You got your hair in a bunker?
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's too much.
I want to be myself, no one else. I mean, I want to be different. I want to try a million different things. I don't like the classification that that's black people stuff, that's white people stuff, because there's no such thing as any of those types of things. I just want to do stuff. And if I want to do it, I'm going to do it. I don't want to have to be worried about what somebody thinks about it because I don't care. And at the end of the day, what makes this person happy, I may deem to be stupid as shit. But what makes me happy, why do you have an opinion? Because it's me. People literally have an opinion about what everyone does like it's being done to them. And the fact that people can't rationally think with their full brain in that manner is puzzling to me. So that's why I'm very, very choosy, and I'm not really a fan of letting everyone into my space, because when you really get to the point where you understand that energy is real and that you can literally let somebody into your space next to you, into your specific aura, and they can literally destroy. You'll go home and you'll be off and you'll be snapping at people, and you're like, I don't understand why. That's because you let some funky ass energy into your energy, and it came in and disrupted stuff. So the thing about it is, what I deem to be important is definitely going to be vastly different from what someone else thinks is important. But I also know that I'm very good at respecting other people's stuff, because at the end of the day, it doesn't have anything to do with me. So for a long-ended response to a short question, who am I now? Me, myself, and I.
Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. It's kind of like audio people watching.
We definitely like feedback. Of course, we want to grow and expand, so leave a review in whichever platform you're currently listening to us on. And of course, ignite your energy.